before they fall. The primary deciduous tree of northern Saskatchewan is the trembling aspen, or known more commonly as the poplar. We usually think of the poplar as being a common plain tree without the majesty of an oak or the dramatic beauty of a conifer. What we don't realize is that many poplars are in fact clonal colonies. This means that poplar trees in an immediate area may be part of one organism that has identical characteristics and shares a single root structure. A particular clone may have leaves that turn color earlier or later than other clones. Scientists think that trembling aspen clone colonies may be the largest and oldest living organisms on Earth. A single colony in Utah, named Pando, is estimated to be 6 million kilograms and 80,000 years old. Fortunately for the poplar, it can propagate by cloning. Reproduction from seed is often difficult, given that poplar trees are either male or female, and clones are all of the same sex. Pollination may be somewhat arduous when the nearest eligible member of the opposite sex is miles away and you are rooted in the ground. As the poplar's leaves are turning to hues of reddish yellow in the fall, the tree is moving its stored nutrients to the roots below ground and is becoming dormant for the winter. It will wait through the long, cold months until warmer days when the sap will rise again and new leaves will grow from the previous year's buds. The aspen is a favorite food of many animals through the winter. Grouse love to gorge themselves on the buds, and elk browse the tender tips of young trees. These elk in the Waskesiu Lake area of Prince Albert National Park will live in the poplar groves through the winter, the trees sustaining them until spring arrives again. The advance of the autumn season is inexorable now. Frost comes during the nights, and huge flocks of geese make their way from the north and across the prairies to their winter homes in the southern United States and Mexico. The annual plants have spread their seed in anticipation of a new cycle that will begin in the spring. The water of the lakes and rivers is turning colder, which brings the lake trout out of the depths and begins their fall spawning season. September days on Lac La Ronge and the Churchill area offer some spectacular scenery. When the air is clear, the water sparkles, and the trees are in their glory. The beaver has a much more practical use for the poplar tree. As fall has been progressing, beaver colonies have been working on their houses and putting up their winter food store. In northern Saskatchewan, the poplar is the most important part of the beaver's diet. Ever industrious and hard-working, beavers have cut many large poplars from the lake shore in order to get to the tender branches at the top of the tree. A beaver will cut down an average of 216 trees a year to be used for house or dam construction and as feed. Many of the large trees cut by the beavers were over mature and starting to rot at the core. The work of the beavers will clear these trees and leave new space for young saplings to rise and start the cycle again. The area logged by the beavers shows the signs of hard work. Here is the main path they have used to drag the branches and tops to the water. The dens are on a platform above the waterline, which means they will remain dry. The beavers create them by gnawing out space in the pile of mud, twigs, and bark that form the lodge. In the fall, the beavers plaster the house with mud, which freezes as hard as concrete and makes it impossible for wolves or other predators to dig through. One can tell if a beaver house is occupied in the fall by the fresh mud coating the beavers have recently applied. The October moon rises over Lac La Ronge as the sun is setting in the west. It is a special evening, with hues of pink and magenta filling the western sky and reflecting on the still water.